Alrighty then. If you're watching a replay, go ahead and fast forward to 90 seconds. That's when the show will officially start. What is up, pal? Beret 50? What's going on? We're going to start at the 90-second mark. I see people jumping on already. This is awesome. We have so much to talk about. It's all up to you, though. You tell me, what do you want to talk about today? Facebook. Wherever you want to watch us, you can. That was my midnight DJ voice. Yeah, Rashawn Holmes is gonna help. I like him. I'm gonna miss Big Sauce, but you know what? I thought of it like right as I hit play. I don't know. I don't know where they are. I totally forgot. I just totally spaced. So no, hey, I'm going naked here. It feels a little naked without sunglasses. Reef, what's up? We're going to start in 13 seconds, officially go live. Well, we are live, but officially begin the show in 13 seconds if you're watching the replay. That is in 5 seconds. We got so many of you all on. Rock and roll. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Valley of the Suns Live, the weekly edition. The special rapid fire edition. My name is Adam Maines. I'm your host. I'm your site editor. I am a friend of the sun. Welcome to the summer where not a whole lot is going to happen from here on out. Am I stoked about Rashawn Holmes? No. Am I bummed out about Jared Dudley? Yeah, but it's not going to, break my summer. Am I bummed about that $1 million they got sent to Philadelphia for Holmes? I never saw it anyway. So really, I'm not. So hey, this is a rapid fire edition. We are only here for 30 minutes today. Go ahead and send in your comments, questions, comments, anything you want to talk about. Trade. If you have any trade or continued free agency rumors, kind of topics you want to discuss, rock and roll. What's up, bro? Chacho. So go ahead and, since we just started, go ahead and please heart, please like, please retweet. Again, we are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook right here. So let me just get it started. You guys jump in. Anything you want to talk about, bring it out. I am interested to see Rashawn Holmes, as I was saying in the intro. I'm going to miss Alan Williams because local dude, so much fun. Last year just blew that he got hurt, and so he wasn't able to, really, kind of follow up on that awesome second half to the year prior. And, he got paid a lot of money to rehab, which, wouldn't it be awesome if we all could? But at the same time, the dude's a professional athlete. The dude is he loves the team. He loves the franchise. He loves the city. He loves the fans. He wanted to play. He didn't want to just collect a paycheck and do nothing. My thoughts on Jason Sudeikis is no. I wish we were related because I might have more money. Maybe I'd have better equipment here. Thoughts on Alex Len to the Hawks? It's pretty simple. I kind of thought that he might end up re-signing here, to be honest. As silly as that sounds, I don't know if anybody really wanted him, but I mean, I thought there was a chance that if nobody came calling and the Suns ended up trading Tyson Chandler, that Alex Len could potentially... Yeah, he's finally gone. But I thought maybe he could potentially be back. And the thing about it is that he would actually play less under DeAndre Ayton, presuming health, of course, to Ayton, that is. Since Tyson Chandler misses so many games, and since Tyson's minutes were so compact, that maybe if Alex Len did come back as a backup, he might thrive by playing less. So, good for him, good for Atlanta. Thoughts on any free agents Suns should go after? Okay, I'll get that in a second. Thoughts on the Jared Dudley trade? I'm going to miss the guy. He was probably the most approachable player on the team, and certainly through social media. I mean, when I tweeted out and I asked fans, and that's all it was. I was not saying he deserved to be. I was just asking fans, would you put him in the Ring of Honor? He actually retweeted it and commented and said, no, but he will always be a man of the people. Dude was awesome. I mean, it was a lot of fun to talk to. I rarely got to, so I'm not saying like I know him at all. But when anybody, commented, I've had comments from multiple players on this team. He was always the first one to do it. Do the Suns have another trade coming? So first off, in terms of free agency, I really have no targets at this point. There's nobody out there I want. They're really, in free agency this year and projected next year, there's really nobody I really desperately want. The best players that can help this team moving forward will come and trade or continue through the draft. So at this point, I look at a free agent signing, and for starters, the roster is full. So they would have to make some moves, which is cool. Can still happen. But I think that in terms of targets, I just don't really think there's anybody outside of, potentially a veteran point guard, but that guy would have been signed. So in terms of trades, Let's see, Milos T from the Clippers, or no, I would totally keep Knight. For starters, I don't think anybody wants Knight. He's getting paid $14-15 million. I don't think anybody really wants him anyway. Coming off of that ACL injury, I think the Suns kind of they're stuck with him, and so they're like, all right, let's get you healthy, let's see what you can do. And I was talking to some people on Twitter today, and somebody specifically mentioned that that Milwaukee player is still in him somewhere, and I totally agree. You got to remember when it came to the Suns, yes, they got rid of Goran Dragic and Isaiah Thomas, but they kept Eric Bledsoe. So two of two things happened. The first thing that happened was that he was paired up with another point guard, which just doesn't really make a whole lot of logical sense, especially when both point guards are a little short. Neither of them are like Devin Booker or 6'7" kind of thing. And the second thing is that he then played a lot of off-ball, and he's not an off-ball player. He is a distributor, he's a ball handler, he's good with the ball in his hands, and so he'll, for the first time, really, outside of a few games 3 years ago, when Eric Bledsoe got hurt, before he himself got hurt, so that was Devin Booker's rookie year. He did get to play some point guard. Remember, he had a triple-double. He averaged 19 points and 5 dimes that year. So he had a pretty good year, but then he got hurt, and again, that was a replacement of Bled, and then the following year, Bledsoe's back, and then everything sucked. Do I wish the Suns didn't trade IT? No, I wish they got more for him. Now that we know what he was, he would become. Crossed up Clay. Again, that triple-double. I mean, it's like, Eric Bledsoe never got a triple-double. Oh, shoot, I totally... what was the question you just sent me? I started, and then I responded to the other one just as a follow-up. Berkelflickle. You'll have to resend it to me. Marcus Thornton. IT question. Thank you. Sorry about that. I just wish the Suns got more. Now that we know, since the league knows now that Isaiah Thomas went healthy as a 30-point-a-game scorer, they could have got a hell of a lot more for him. But the beauty... So I fully endorsed that signing. I guess it ended up being a sign and trade, but it essentially was a signing for Isaiah Thomas. I thought it was a great signing because what it did is he was one of the best players available in free agency that offseason. I'm going to double check and see who else was available. But he was the best point guard for sure. And so, yes, he was brought in where now the Suns had those three with Bledsoe and Gordon and then IT himself. But you knew somebody was being traded. And so it also a better upgrade over Ish, absolutely. But you knew, too, that somebody was getting traded. And so then the Suns would be trading from a position of strength. If a team needed a point guard, they could call the Suns and say, hey, you got three. Who do you give up? And I'll bet McDonough's initial thought was, I'll give up any one of those three. Or any two of those three. Make the best offer. I have a feeling he would have kept IT and traded Bledsoe if the best trade was for Bledsoe, the best trade offer, that kind of thing. So I was totally fine with that signing. I think it made perfect sense. Obviously, nobody let the players know, and you really can't let players know from a general management standpoint exactly what your plan is, especially when that plan could be, by the way, you could be traded. Because if McDonough went to Eric Bledsoe and Goran Dragic and IT, brought them all in and sat them down and said, okay, we have 3-point cards. Obviously, this isn't going to work. One of you guys are going to trade. We just don't know. We don't know when. That's kind of stupid and unprofessional. And it would really piss off all three players. And all three of them would be like, fine, then just trade me now. That kind of thing. They had to have known because everybody knew publicly. But who do you think is the better team? The Suns. Suns are better than the Pistons. So they had to know publicly. Anyway, so my long drawn out point is they were then able to trade from a position of strength. And I think that was perfect. It was just that Goran Dragic screwed everything up. If we could get Gordon back, would you? Yeah, so I would, and we're going to have a post about this out in the next couple of days. The trade that I would make for Gordon at this point, let's see, we wrote it out. We actually had it's TJ Warren and, here's why I would do it. It's TJ Warren and Troy Daniels. That was the two. Those contracts match, no picks involved. Troy is gone after this season anyway. If you're bringing in Goran, as much as you guys know, I'm a huge Troy Daniels fan. I think he made 183 threes last year and shot 40% from beyond the arc. Those guys don't grow on trees. Huge fan of his. I don't suspect that the Suns are going to re-sign him after this season. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of you're kind of upgrading, actually, because you're bringing in a point guard Especially since Goran can play both the 1 and the 2. You're kind of upgrading by trading Troy for Goran. Then you're trading again from a position of strength with Goran is far better than a great contract. I totally agree, but this is why I would consider it. So you're getting that upgrade. Then with Warren's contract, you're getting that off the books. Although you're right, 100% correct. It is a good. It's a great contract, and you guys also know. I'm also TJ Warren's biggest fan as well. TJ and Troy are truthfully my two favorite players. But I would have. That's the thing. That's the key. Goran Dragic would have to decline his player option ahead of time, because it saves the Suns a ton of money. Now, at that point, again, I don't think there's anybody special available in free agency in 2019, so I'm not looking at it as, hey, now you've got the money to throw, a max contract at both, LeBron and, and D Wade or whatever 10 years ago. Because those guys aren't available, and nobody in that kind of sphere of talent is going to be available. But, as I said earlier, how the Suns are going to improve this team through trade, that gives you additional cap space with which to work, and it gives you an additional roster spot, 2 roster spots. I mean, I think it could help. Plus, this year you're helped because you've got a backup to Brandon Knight if that doesn't work. If we could throw a contract on Klay, I'd be happy to highly doubt. Yeah, I highly doubt Klay Thompson leaves. The only reason why I wouldn't really sign Klay Thompson is because of Devin Booker. It's a little redundant, and you're hoping that either Josh Jackson or Mikal Bridges turns out great, in which case now we're going to play Klay. I don't really see it. You know better than I would, but I defend TJ Warren for my life. Okay. Again, I'm a huge TJ Warren fan. I have not at all been a fan of trading him. I want him to play a ton. Where would you play Klay, though? That's my question. Where would you have him in the lineup? Because if you're playing a point guard, you're going to have Book at the 2. You could potentially put Klay at the 2 and Book at the 3, but now you're moving Josh Jackson or Mikal Bridges to the 4. I think that's just too small at power. Real quick, we're 10 minutes in. Please heart, please like, please retweet. Keep these rapid fires coming. Would I start Chandler over Ayton for the first game of the season? No. Nope. I would start Ayton game 1 and Tyson Chandler say, hey, rest your knees. You're going to play 12 minutes a game. That's all we need you. Go out there and give us 12 minutes a game. And he'll do it. He'll be professional about it. He will be an incredible example for DeAndre Ayton in terms of professionalism, how to practice, how to prepare, how to be mentally prepared, especially for something to the fact, Tyson Chandler is entering his 18th season in the league. He's been a starter for basically the last 15 of them, if I recall correctly. So he can now say, hey, he can just lead by example and say, hey, Ayton, this is what happens when, this is how you deal with it. Hopefully Tyson gives this one. Oh, he's totally going to give 100%. Tyson Chandler just seems like the most professional guy. Again, 18 years, very well respected. Stay put with their pieces and we can be the next Thunder or Warriors. That's certainly, obviously, the hope. But if a trade comes up that makes you better, I don't say stay content with my pieces. I say stick to Booker and Ayton and then, build around them. I do feel like Ayton will average 18 and 12. I hope so. That would just be fantastic. People have been saying Mitchell better than Booker year flats. I disagree. I do. Mitchell looks better because he's on a better team. Now, could they be comparable? Yeah. I mean, they definitely can't be. But is Mitchell like that much better? He's on a better team. And not only that, but Booker's. Granted, Mitchell looked he looked freaking awesome in his rookie year. Booker's now been doing this for 3 years, and he's built all 3 of his years. Does Mitchell plateau very early and instead just stay at 23 a game or whatever he averaged? Does he peak? Does he, drop? I think Ayton makes the All-Star team, but Book is snubbed again. I don't know how Ayton can make the All-Star team without averaging 25 points. Not as a center, it'd be hard. Mitchell ranked 88 in 2K now, while Booker is 86. So I've seen a couple tweets. I haven't really followed it. Have all the players' ratings been released already? Is that what happened? I haven't seen Booker's. I'll definitely get that opening. Oh, Booker's rating isn't out yet? I was going to say, I haven't seen any ratings. Oh, are you saying... Okay, wait a second. Was the 86 and 88 rating from last year or from this year? Because I think you did say 2K19, so maybe it must have been just 86 was this year. Okay, so Book is rated as an 86? So it came out. All right, I'll have to look. I saw a couple things on Twitter and I never followed up on it. but not for all. Okay, I'll definitely have to check it out. I know that what they sometimes do, or at least what I saw they did last year, is when a player would ask early on Twitter, then what's the guy's name? John or something. Then they will release it through Twitter. Can Devin play point guard? Yes, I think so. A and B, I wish he would. I just don't think the Suns want to do that. I really think he'd be a Steph Curry type point guard. I think he's got the handles. I think he's got the ability to do it. And with his outside shooting, he shot 38% from three, if I recall correctly, last year. I think percentage like that, that's just tremendous. That means the players, defenders are going to have to play on ball, which means they're not going to slack off because they know, if I slack off, he's going to drain a three. Yeah, thank you. Send it to me, please. I'd appreciate it. They'll probably make Book an 89. He missed so much time last year, 28 games, if I recall correctly. That might hurt a little bit, but yeah, I would figure, gosh, he's got to be so close to 90. The thing that I would presume would hurt it would be defense, but, again, when you're on a bad team, I guess Michael Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year when the Bulls won like 45 games, but that's still like 24 more than Phoenix. Not directly comparing Booker to Jordan, but just in terms of I certainly would be against Booker being a 90. Book has been a 90, has to be 90 since Cat got a 91, and Tatum got an 89, or 87, excuse me. Wow, Tatum got an 87. Cat getting a 91 makes sense because it's a center. And remember that, strength, Cat will have better strength, Booker will have less. It's like some of those ratings, obviously, they kind of, that final number is accumulation of their individual categories and not necessarily the exact same categories between players. A 90 for a center isn't a 90 for a point guard, obviously, because a point guard can shoot threes and a center has better dunks. What I'm saying to that is, it doesn't surprise me that the Cat is a 91 because he's a dominant center. It would just surprise me if Tatum had a better score than Booker. It really would. Or rating, excuse me, than Booker. We are 17 and a half minutes in. This is going to be a shorter half-hour show because it is rapid fire. Please go ahead and please heart, please like, please retweet. Go ahead and keep those rapid fire questions and comments coming. Do you have any trades you want to make? I explained to you the Goran Dragic, like how the Suns could get him back for 1 year. Backup Knight, replace Troy Daniels. Goran's a good three-point shooter. Let me see if I can pull that up very quickly. Number one thing for Ayton to work on until preseason. Post-positioning. Only reason Mitchell gets a higher rating than Booker is because he is more athletic. Mitchell is more athletic than Booker. I guess so, but geez, if that's the reason, then that's pretty lame because, Booker is pretty freaking athletic, and Booker can take it to the hole. Think any more trades may happen. I do think another trade is going to happen. I do think the Suns, they need to get a veteran point guard. I love Shaq Harrison as much as anybody. I do not have nearly as high hopes for Elie Okobo as many people seem to. He's going to be back and forth between the D-League. He's probably going to get Davon Reed minutes, of 2017-18. So they need another point guard. Brandon Knight is not going to be able to play 35 minutes a game, I would assume. I could be wrong. I wouldn't expect Brandon Knight to be able to play 35 minutes a game this year right off that injury. So they're going to have a point guard that's going to be able to handle the ball and keep the offense going and so forth. And again, I love Shaq Harrison, but he's not a backup, in my opinion. I think he's a perfect three because you can have him multiple lineups at that point, but then you're only playing about 10, 12 minutes a game. And then Elie Okobo, again, he's going to be back and forth between my presumption, just from the outside looking in, he's going to be back and forth from D. 3 weeks until the schedule released, and we better get national televised games and a Christmas game. A Christmas game would be awesome. They usually put, playoff teams on Christmas Day. So it's like, I'll guarantee, I suppose, LA, the Lakers, and like the Warriors. Because how many years have they put Cleveland, LeBron versus Golden State on Christmas Day? Because I can't imagine they could put Cleveland on Christmas Day just because they're the reigning champions, even though it was purely LeBron that did that. LA got it last year, but it is LA, exactly. If I recall, I was gonna in terms of Goran Dragic shot 37% from three last year, 40% the year before. So yeah, he'd be a good replacement if they could do it. We played Golden State and LAL plenty of times. We'll be on national TV, yes, but I don't know about Christmas. Are they currently after anyone? Not that I'm aware of. I certainly would have never thought that they'd be after Rashawn, what's his face. Phoenix versus Philadelphia would be a fun game, and I would like that. I would love that if that were a morning game too. We haven't got an ABC game since 2011. It's been 7 years since ABC. I mean, again, they like putting on playoff teams. So, I mean, I suppose it doesn't surprise me. Number one thing that Mikal Bridges needs to work on. Holmes, thank you, Rashawn Holmes. What's the number one thing Mikal Bridges? Probably, that's a good question. Trying to think. McCall, I would say just keep shooting threes. Just get his 3-point shooting as crisp as possible. Yeah, maybe attack off the dribble. He seemed a little lost a little bit, I guess. Do the Suns will have any more national television? Yeah, I mean, they'll have a couple. I would get, maybe even one. You know, I'm sure ESPN will cover them for a game. But look, they had a couple ESPN games last year, and they were coming off of, you know, they didn't have DeAndre Ayton. So yeah, Mikal Bridges, 3 points attacking off the ball. I mean, it's really just an understanding of the offense, I guess, which is going to come to him. And that was summer league. He was just getting I'm sure, just a taste of it. Understanding his role. I'm sure that summer league is difficult for younger players who haven't played an offense before, rookies in particular, just because they don't really know their role. Our ESPN game, the score was once 150. Yeah, who was that? That wasn't Portland. Who was that? Igor could be coach there. If they win 40 games, Igor is coach of the year. Oh, that was the Spurs game. That's right. That was the Spurs. Yeah, boy. I hope they don't have any 30-point losses this year. I can handle a couple of 20-plus. That got away from them. But they can't. No more 30-plus. And more point guards available in the market? No. Otherwise, I'm sure the Suns would have, targeted one and brought one in. I would guess, again, they're going to look for a backup point guard and trade. And I wouldn't be shocked if they called Miami and said, all right, what can we give you for Goran? But then I'm sure if there's been any conversations, we're like, all right, but Goran, we don't want you to pick up your player option. But that's $19 million that leaves on the table. He's only a one-time All-Star, and he only got it from injury, and he's 31, so he'll be 32. He's 32 now, so he'll be 33 after this season. He's not turning down that $19 million, so I'll bet that doesn't come. Okay, I'll totally check my Twitter. Thank you, sir. I'll do it after the show. By the way, we got about 10 minutes left. Go ahead and please retweet, rapid fire, bring anything in. I was just going to say, somebody, asked about Christmas. The last Christmas game the Suns played, if I recall correctly, was the Clipper or Spurs? Let's see. It would have been at latest. Okay, so let's see. December. No. Rapid fire some questions. Booker looks like he's getting stronger. He's been working out a ton. I've seen it on Instagram and stuff. That would be awesome if he, could maybe even take power forward a little bit, once or twice, just kind of the right matchups. Okay, it was Clippers. It was 2009. The last time the Suns played on Christmas Day was Clippers, and I think we won. Yeah, 124-93. Suns won 124-93. That was the 09-010 season. We went to the conference finals. Do I believe the Suns go after Amari? No, because he asked to come back 2 years ago, and they said no. So I don't know why they would know. B Knight should switch back to the number 3. Number 11, he hasn't shined that much. That'd be fun. Hearing he wants to come back to the NBA. Yeah, but again, I don't think he comes back to the Suns. I would love it. How weird is it to see Tony not on the Spurs? I wanted to see Tony here. I see Tony Parker as the point guard, the veteran point guard I wanted the Suns to get. I believe our writer Khalil Abdullah wrote about Tony Parker on a list at one point, saying he should be targeted. Starting lineup this season, let's just say opening night, I'm going to presume that Josh Jackson has wrestled the starting small forward position over. I shouldn't say wrestle, but I think the idea is to put T.J. Warren off the bench, make him a sixth man extraordinaire. So I will say that the starting lineup will be Brandon Knight, Devin Booker, Josh Jackson. Suddenly I'm spacing Ayton at the 5 and Trevor Ariza at the 4. So that'll be it. And I would say my first off the bench is point guard. We don't know. Troy Daniels, T.J. Warren. Probably Chris over Bender, and then possibly Bender at the 5, although Rashawn Holmes, too. I'd love to see Kevin Love here, too. Are we still the youngest team? Trading Jared Dudley because you picked up Ariza helps maybe maintain that. When we were planning to have Amari and Ringo and Shingle, I haven't heard, but I would expect this season. We don't have a chance for Love. Is he about to sign an extension? That sucks. I would expect that that both Stat and Amari, both Stat and Matrix go into the Ring of Honor this year. They're both retired. It's been a couple years. Nash is already in. I would presume that's now. That would be 2018, 19. Plus, they're going to want to still sell out games, and they're not going to sell out many, even with Ayton. They're not going to sell out many if they're not winning. So I say we're tanking, go after TJ Barrett or Zion Williamson. I don't want to tank. I want to win. If they win the lottery, great, but I want to win. All right, so Knight, Booker, JJ, Ariza, Ayton, not bad. Nope, not bad at all. If Knight is healthy, if Ariza's training 200 threes a year, so averaging 3 or 4 a game, that would be a fun starting lineup. I mean, is it going to win many games? I don't know, but it would be a fun starting lineup. It'll win some games. There's no doubt about that. I think they win over 30, 100%. If they're healthy, they win over 30, 100%. I mean, I got to see. I just want to see what Igor does. I really want to see what Igor does. Is LA going to get playing time? I don't believe he'll get much unless they don't find another point guard. Then he'll have to be the third, but I don't think so. All in on Kyrie in the offseason? No. Age, injuries, and the fact that I think he stays in Boston. He was trying to recruit Gordon Hayward to Cleveland before LeBron went back. I just heard this week, and apparently he's very happy in Boston. What if we still have point guard problems? Okay, if the Suns have point guard problems this year, they're not going to win, so they won't necessarily have to tank. And so, I mean, in that case, just keep playing and winning. You have a lot of 30-point blowouts. How many games do they win this season? Again, I want to know who their backup point guard is. I want to know if they make any other moves. I would still be surprised if both Dragon Bender and Marquise Chris are both on the roster this season. It's seeming more and more likely that they will, but yeah, well, I mean, you can tank for the third spot and then try to win a couple extra games, because then you've got 33% odds. Which, by the way, think about this. So the Suns had 25% odds of winning the lottery with the... Oh, those odds go down, don't they? Doesn't it become like 17%? That's right. Pat Beverly, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. I'd like him to back up Brandon Knight. I feel like they have to go after a point guard. They really do. I just want to see... My guess would probably say 35-36 wins at this moment. All odds are the same this year. Yeah, well, they should be. And here's why I say... So, for starters, the Suns did tank the last few years. So they were trying to lose games. How many times did they set Devin Booker and they shouldn't have? How many times I would absolutely go after Lillard? I don't know how in the world you'd get him, but, without gutting the core, but if they can. But remember, they tried to lose games. How many times did they sit Tyson Chandler? How many times did they sit Devin Booker? They reset Allen Williams. They reset Allen Williams. They made 0 free agency signings that would actually help the team. They made 0 trades. They were trying to lose. So now they've got they're upgraded at center, A in the starting position and B in depth. Ayton is just better than Tyson Chandler at this point in his career. And if Tyson Chandler stays on the roster, he'll be one of the best backup centers in the NBA. And I think that's fantastic. So you've got an upgrade at center. You've got an upgrade. It's not a tremendous one, but you've got an upgrade at power forward because Trevor Ariza is better than than Marquise Chris and Dragon Bender. 100%. He is just better than both of them. So then you've got an upgrade, I think, at small forward because you've got potentially TJ Warren coming off the bench, and I think that's a big deal, having him play as a sixth man. Who was their sixth man last year? They didn't have one. So now you've got one. And with Josh Jackson starting, he's certainly not a lockdown defender yet, but he is a better defender than TJ Warren. And so now you've got a better defender in your starting lineup to help go after your number one player. The number one player on the other team. And then you've also got Mikal Bridges, who's, again, another good defensive player. So you've got an upgrade at small forward right there, both in starting and reserves. You've also got depth. Devin Booker playing full-time, there's no improvement other than he just gets better. And I think he averages near 30 points this year. Troy Daniels coming back. Plus Davin Reed looking pretty good in Summer League. I mean, Daniels coming back, that's just like, I just love that because I'm a huge Davin Reed, Troy Daniels fan. With his three-point shooting, he shot 40% last year. You've got a hell of a bench small forward. I'm kind of talking so fast, I'm using incorrect terms, but it's a shooting guard. Then at point guard, right off the bat, from game 4 of last year, Brandon Knight is the best point guard this team had since Game 4 of last year. Eric Bledsoe's a better point guard overall, at least he used to be. But Brandon Knight is now an improvement over all 8 of the other 9 point guards they ran last year, which just enhances the point guard position, makes that better. And then again with depth, we'll see what that'd be sick if he won the 3-point contest. That'd be sick if Booker suddenly decided I want to play the slam dunk contest and win that. But so just and then again in terms of depth, because you've got Brandon Knight starting now, Shaq Harrison, who I don't know, did he start any games last year? Let me just see real quick. I don't think he did, but I mean the fact that he had to play so many minutes. Was the last time Brandon Knight played? I mean he missed all of last season. So he did start 2 games, but still he played 23. If they can get in a veteran point guard somehow, then right off the bat you're just better in point guard depth. So are any of these guys great? Yes, Devin Booker. But the point guard position, the coaching position, better. Point guard position, better. Shooting guard position, same, although it was already great. Small forward position, better. Power forward position, better. Center position, better. So they upgraded 4 out of 5, and then you can hypothetically say that they've upgraded all 5 because Devin Booker naturally has improved. And again, presuming he stays healthy and he plays more than 54 games, you get him into 78, 80 games. I mean, hell, why not play all 82? And now you've got the best player on the court for those extra 28. So, I mean, this team is just going to be better, hands down. Does that mean playoffs? I sure hope so. I hope they can sneak in. I don't know if San Antonio can do it anymore, but we'll see. Would you say we're going to be in the top 10 in assists or bottom of the barrel? Middle of the road. How about that? They'll be better than, what were they last year? I don't know if I can look it up too quickly. I want to say that they were like 28, 29, 30 maybe? 40 plus wins. Next year it's in 2018-19 or 2019-20? When you say that, teams. When you say that, what do you mean? Traditional stats. I'm looking up to see where this. You might be able to find this better than I. Oh, although I might have already found it. All right, assists per game. Phoenix was 29th. Okay, so Phoenix was 29th. 40 would be incredible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's unlikely. 40 would be incredible. I wouldn't expect it per se, but I certainly, And when you say plus, so you're saying 500 and greater. It would. It's not impossible. They would have to eat up on the Eastern Conference, and they'd have to go a minimum of 500 against the West. So yeah, the last year the Suns had, they averaged 21.3 assists, same as Oklahoma City, by the way. Who would say has more wins, Lakers or Suns, even with LeBron? Lakers. Think of all the other players they added. They're better. Plus LeBron, think about this. You take LeBron off of Cleveland becomes a bottom feeder team. You put LeBron on the Phoenix Suns become a playoff team. LeBron is just that influential. Jonas Valanciunas or Doncic, not looking too good right now. I'm just crying over spilled milk. I would never want Jonas Valanciunas, but Doncic. Oh! When you said Doncic, I was thinking Goran Dragic. Doncic, yeah, I wish they could have got Doncic. I wanted them to trade. I would have traded Josh Jackson for Luka Doncic. If they could have found a way, to have drafted both Ayton and then trade up and get Luka Doncic, that would have been a fun starting lineup. All right, so on the Basketball Reference, I was looking up. What's up, Dub? What's up, Dynasty? By the way, I'll stop at 40 minutes. I'll go just an extra 5 minutes. So please go ahead and please heart, please like, please retweet. I'll stop at 40. I am keeping this shorter today because I'm trying to do this rapid fire thing. I was gonna look something up on Basketball Reference. I don't remember, but yeah, holy shnikes! What I've loved, I would have freaking loved Luka Doncic. I'm very interested to see him in Dallas. I'm jealous. We got DeAndre Ayton, so I'm not like overly jealous. I'm just jealous. Like I really wanted to see that kid here. Still would have always taken Luka Doncic after DeAndre Ayton. There's no doubt. I would have taken Ayton first. Well, if you don't have any more comments, then I can just end now, which I'm totally cool with, not to be rude. We're 35 minutes in. I did 5 minutes of OT. If there's no more rapid fire comments, then I might just drop off. And I'll tell you what, go ahead and please heart, please like, please retweet. But I'll be back next week at 6 o'clock. Arizona time. This show runs every Monday. I am going to drop off a little bit early today. I do apologize. Suns average over 100 points a game or play way better defense. They are in great shape. But they're going to average over 100 points a game. I have no doubt about that. In regards to their defense, I'm sure it'll be improved just because they've got a better head coach. No offense to Jay Triano, but he didn't have a chance to set anything up. So it's not like, he was horrible by any means. But I do think Igor is going to be the better coach on both sides of the ball. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for your kind comments. I do appreciate it. I am dropping off a little bit early today, so if you missed anything, go ahead and please rewatch the show. I'll have it posted later. It is on my Twitter stream, on the Valley of the Suns Twitter stream, so you can see it like right now if you're just jumping on and you want to watch the other show. Not a problem, everybody. I do love you all. I do this for you. This is the only place in the world you can talk Suns basketball live with people around the world. So thank you very much for joining us. I will be back 1 week from today on Monday, the 30th of July, at 6 p.m. AZ. Until then, you'll see me on Twitter. Peace. Go Suns.